To start our rebalance sequence, let's start with the rest assess. Lie on your back with your palms faced up and your arms and legs extended. Using your body sense, I want you to assess the 4 common imbalances that cause all the compression along the spine. Remember, if you feel like all of your upper back weight is weighted just across the upper 1/3 part of your back, if your mid-back feels arched off the floor, if your tailbone feels more weighted to the ground than your butt cheeks, or the back of the thighs feel off the floor, you've just assessed accumulated stress living in your body that could be causing you compression in your neck or low back. Remember to also divide yourself into a left and a right half and assess your autopilot. I want you to notice if one entire side of your body feels more weighted on one side or the other, or if one leg feels longer. If you're noticing either of these two things, that's called autopilot inefficiency. And you'll remember that just simply means your autopilot's having a hard time identifying where your center of gravity is. Take a nice focused breath into your body. When you're ready, turn on your side, come on up to sitting, and I want you to lie the length of your roller from head to tail. Remember, you can either sit at the end of your roller like James and Megan are doing, or you can bring the roller behind the side of your hip and slowly roll yourself back like Pam and Roshan do. Remember, once you get up onto the top of the roller, touch the top of your head and make sure 100% you are on the top of that roller. Then place your arms along the side of the roller and let's begin with your gentle rocking by tipping to the left and then to the right. Just slowly allow the masses to tip to either side. Remember, gentle rocking just allows your autopilot time to adapt to the compression we're creating on the spine and also challenges the autopilot to go into action to keep you balanced and stable on this unstable surface. Then come back to a center point and let's try our pelvic tuck and tilt. Place your hands on the front of your pelvis like a triangle. And once you have your hands in place, begin tucking your pelvis under so your low back travels to the roller and tipping your pelvis away so the back of the pelvis lands on the top of the roller. Remember, as you tuck, this is the differentiated motion. So as you tilt, you want to notice if your ribs come with you, or when you tuck, are you pushing into your feet, squeezing your butt cheeks, or lifting up your hips? Remember, keep your feet light, keep your ribs heavy, and continue to tuck and tilt your pelvis. This is how you help your autopilot reacquire its connection to your center of gravity by influencing the subtle motion of the pelvis and keeping it differentiated from the other masses. Try it 2 more times, gently tucking your pelvis under, and then tilting your pelvis away, and then coming back to a center point. Keep that neutral pelvis and let's try the 3D breath breakdown. I want you to place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Nice and slowly, I want you to take some focused breaths into the front and back of your body as if you're breathing depth into your torso. Remember, another way to help our autopilot reacquire its connection to your center of gravity is to influence movement of the diaphragm. Remember, these breaths don't have to be the fullest breaths you can take. You're just thinking about breathing into your body from a midline in 2 dimensions. On your next breath, place your hands on the sides of your ribs. And in the same fashion, I want you to breathe width into your body, expanding the ribs widthwise. And remember, not the biggest breaths you can take. It's just you thinking about moving the diaphragm that's influencing your autopilot to reacquire a new signal to your center of gravity. On your next breath, at your own pace, place one hand over your collarbones and one hand down onto your pubis bone. And in the same fashion, you're going to breathe that length breath from the midline up to the collarbones and down to the pelvis in equal timing. I want you to notice here as you're taking these focused breaths, if you're noticing your body subtly shifting or rocking on the roller. If you're noticing that subtle movement, don't stop it from happening. That is your autopilot reacquiring a new signal to your center of gravity as you influence the movement or oscillation of your diaphragm. Really good. Take one more focused breath there, and now let's try the 3D breath. Place your hands on the front of your belly. And I want you to take a nice focused breath into all 6 sides of your body and just let your natural breath come out. What you're not going to feel here, remember, is the reflexive mechanism. We're going to force the reflex into action by doing your 3D focused breath. You remember which sound made that connection the most dominant. I want you to take a nice full 6-sided breath and on an exhale, make your sound. See if you can feel that subtle contraction in the abdomen. Try that 2 more times. A nice focused breath, and make your sound. Remember, if we do this correctly, there's a subtle hugging that occurs from all 6 sides of the torso. That's the natural reflex. Try it 1 more time. Nice focused breath, and make your sound. Now go back to nice natural breathing. Take a nice 3-dimensional breath, and on your exhale, let your natural exhale initiate the breath, but then consciously feel and follow and see if you can feel that same gentle contraction in the abdomen. Take another focused breath, and again, let your natural exhale initiate the breath and feel and follow. When you're ready, place your hands on the ground, and when you're ready, I want you to straighten out one of your legs and very slowly slide your pelvis, then your ribs, and then your head off the roller and slide the roller out from underneath your spine, and let's reassess. Once again, lie flat on your back with your palms faced up and your arms and legs extended in your rest assess position. And I know it doesn't really feel like we do very much, but I want you to go back in and notice your masses and spaces. If before you felt like you had all of your upper back weight on the upper 1/3 part of your back, or if your mid-back felt very arched off the ground, you might notice now that your mid-back is entirely more weighted to the floor, releasing some new hydration to your neck and your low back. Also notice your pelvis and your legs. If before you were very aware that you were lying right on your tailbone, or you noticed the back of the thighs were off the ground, you might notice that just by doing this single sequence, your legs have settled to the floor, or the pelvis is more weighted. But remember, this sequence is for one thing in particular. Divide yourself into a left and a right half and reassess your autopilot. If before you felt very weighted to one side or one leg felt longer, notice if now you feel more balanced from left to right. How many of you guys feel like you feel more balanced from left to right from doing that sequence? Did you get it? Did you get it too? If you feel more balanced from left to right with this sequence, this is one of the best ones you can do from day to day. So remember, take a focused breath and really allow your body to rest in this position for a moment. You did a great job with this map.